You don't like it at all?
I want something else.
Make it yourself! I'm gonna cook for my family for an entire week using only this book. Stick around to see what we think of it. Welcome to Jeremy's Disaster in the Kitchen.
Smells really good and it tastes even better.
Fava whip is done when you can flip the bowl upside down and nothing happens.
Oh god, please don't.
There's no flavor.
The sauce is so good.
It's really bad. It's so good. The sauce is so delicious.
It's not gonna be good.
It's bright green.
Next cookbook, no curries.
But doesn't this look good? Like I can't stop stirring it.
I love it. Ew, you're milking it?
I'm gonna turn this trash into treasure if it kills me.
The more you eat it, the less bad it gets, actually.
Solid reviews by Annie. That's as positive as she gets sometimes. Greetings and welcome to PB with Jay. Here on the channel, we focus on all things plant-based that comes to recipe reviews like this one, my own recipes, and lots of other fun stuff here on the channel. In this video, we're gonna be cooking exclusively from Max La Manna's You Can Cook This. Did I get it right? Yeah, I did. We do a lot of these and I get the names wrong sometimes. What I really like about this book is that it encourages you to use up your leftovers in the fridge. And it's got a really unique way of organizing all the recipes. It's not done typically by like the usual way of breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, desserts, and whatnot. It's actually organized by root vegetables, and then in grains, nightshades, gourds and legumes, leafy greens, fungi, non-dairy fruits. There's even a chapter for leftovers. So I really love that concept. I haven't seen that before in a cookbook. The other little things I really like is that for each recipe, they have these little prompts of how much prep time it takes, as well as the cooking time, how long it lasts in both the fridge, freezer, or counter. Lots of great stuff in there, things I'm really, really excited about. It's a cute little legend at the bottom. It also seems like there's some unique out-of-the-box thinking in this cookbook, so I'm really excited to dive into this one. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I'd actually like to take this time to say hi to some of our newer subscribers that have said hello in the comments down below. Jen from Michigan, Sylvie from New Brunswick, Anne from Yorkshire, England. Yorkshire? Let me know, which one? Yorkshire, Yorkshire, with like a U sound. Melvin from Nicaragua, and Grandma Katie from Oregon. Just to be clear, not my grandma, but someone's grandma, and that's how she introduced herself. If you want a shout out like this, let us know in the comments below who you are and where you're watching from, and you know, say other stuff as well. That's always nice. Especially if you like anything about this video or think this cookbook is worth buying. I will actually have a link to this cookbook down below. If you buy it from that link, if you like it, it helps out the channel. And also, don't be shy of using our little tip jar if you want to help us out as well. Everything goes to keep the lights on and whatnot and things going on this channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and stick around to the end to see if I think you should buy this, borrow it, or bypass it altogether. Later on in the video, I'm going to tell you about our awesome sponsor who's got a sweet deal for you. Now to the food! For dinner, we're gonna make this takeout-style mushrooms and egg noodles. So what's fascinating with this one is apparently when you cook the spaghetti, if you add baking soda to it while it's cooking, it'll help puff the noodles out. Now, we're using a gluten-free version of spaghetti. So we're gonna do a test strand just to make sure that it works before I destroy an entire box of pasta. So you put the baking soda in halfway through, and then you're supposed to leave it with the water turned off for 5 to 7 minutes after. That's where I'm worried this is gonna turn to trash because it's gluten-free pasta. Maybe it won't.
So smart.
Can you even pick it up?
Made it smushier. Don't do it with gluten-free.
No?
No, it didn't really make it fatter, it just starts making it fall apart.
Oh yeah, it's like brittle and weird. So it doesn't work for gluten-free. Sorry, we tried. I like the idea.
Gee, are you glad you tested that?
I am glad I tested that.
Aren't you glad you listened to your lovely wife?
I'm so glad I listened to my lovely Willie. That was her idea to test it.
We're just gonna dive right in.
I was just gonna dive right in because I am all about failing on this channel for you.
You weren't always this way.
No, I used to be very anal.
You used to be very afraid of failing and very upset when it didn't work.
And now I embrace it. Because it makes you all feel like you can fail.
Because life is an adventure.
Life is an adventure. Alright, so we're not gonna make them thicky noodles. They'll just be regular noodles. Otherwise, we're going to bake some shiitake mushrooms in this little sauce for a few minutes to get it going. And I'm even gonna use the little bit of oil it calls for. It doesn't call for much, it calls for like a teaspoon. So I'm gonna do it just to give a more authentic version of this recipe. Although the sesame oil they call for, I'm gonna definitely cut that down a lot because I just, don't think it needs it. I like the sesame oil for the flavor, but I think it doesn't need 2 tablespoons. That's a lot. And I'm gonna add a few things to this just to make it more meal-y. I'm gonna air fry some broccoli to mix in with it. And I think I'm gonna do some edamame as well, just to add a bit more of a bump of protein into the meal. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly double this sauce recipe because this did not look like nearly enough sauce.
I really like it. It's got some spice to it.
I only put in a quarter of the amount of spice it goes
Yeah,
for.
I think that's enough spice for me personally, but if you like spice a lot, put in the whole thing. I've only had 1 mushroom, but I think I would prefer the mushrooms to be chopped. I find it's like a lot, and I like mushrooms, but I find like the flavor is like a lot in one bite.
We also didn't buy as many as the recipe called for, which is my fault for not letting Willie know how much to buy.
I think it's okay, but I think you chopped it up because it's like a lot.
Maybe spread out more. I added the edamame and the broccoli. I didn't call for that.
I really like the broccoli.
Ooh. Like for me, that's spicy. Kudos to you if you can handle the whole teaspoon. I like this a lot. I like that the peanut butter flavor is there, but it's not like dominant in it. It's really nice. It's like, it's not overpowering. It's got a really nice kick, even at this level. I would make this again for sure. Very tasty. And I'd be curious to try it with regular spaghetti noodles to see if they actually puff up like they're supposed to. I heard the boy coming, so let's see what he thinks.
It's alright. It's not the best, not the worst. It's in the middle.
It's in the middle?
I probably wouldn't have this again, but I'd eat it.
Yeah? You wouldn't request it, but you'd eat it happily?
Yeah.
So hot tip, if you make your own chickpeas, and by make your own I mean if you cook your own from dry, whenever you dump out the liquid, don't get rid of it completely. Strain it out and keep it in like a bowl of some kind. Just put your strainer inside of a bowl, and then you're gonna put it in a little pot because it's probably gonna be too liquidy. You're gonna boil it down, and now you've got something called aquafaba. And aquafaba is like an oil replacement that you can use in a lot of things. You could use it to replace oil in baking and recipes. You could use it as an egg wash on baking, in dressings and whatnot. It's like it's an all-over good thing to use. Tonight, crunch. Tonight for dinner, we're gonna make easy spinach and chickpea curry. This book doesn't have a ton of photos in it. It's got some. But what it does have that I really like is this little guide that tells you not only the cooking time, but also how long it will stay in the fridge and how much prep time you need, which I find either cookbooks don't include or are just really bad at guessing. I'm gonna make a double batch of this. So we have some for our lunches. Hey, Wooly? She's really engrossed right now. This is fairly simple. You heat up the spices and the onions, and then you add the carrot, chickpeas, and tomatoes. What's really interesting about this is you blend together the spinach and the coconut milk. And then we're gonna serve this on some brown rice and top it with some spinach, and I think we have some limes in the fridge, so we'll add that as well. This looks pretty simple. So I just added some lime into the whole thing because I think it needed it. It was missing a little, so a little acid in there can really make it pop. So this is kind of fun. I mean, I've never made a green curry before. This will give the kids something. At least they can't say they've ever had this before, because if they do, they're lying.
It's really good. Can you come back for a minute?
Oh, it's hot. We'll be back to you after this short commercial break.
3 weeks later.
It's really yummy. It's like mild, like it's, the spice is building, but it's like got a mild flavor, but a really nice flavor. It smells really good and it tastes even better.
Weird.
It's weird? Wow, weird's a great word. Explain weird.
Really? Really?
What?
You want to know what weird means?
I'd like to know what weird means in this context.
It's bright green. Why is it bright green?
How's the flavor? Regardless of the color.
Weird.
Probably a bit hot.
Oh, this rice isn't cooked.
Yeah, some of it, I bought instant rice and I put it in the Instant Pot by accident. Instant rice does not go in the Instant Pot.
I don't think it's instant right.
Well, quick rice. I thought I bought 20-minute regular. Anyway.
Other than the rice, it's good.
Oh, you like this? Even though it's in the curry family?
Yeah, because I was just mad because every single time there's a cookbook, there's always at least 5 curries.
It's true, there's a lot of...
There's only like 1 or 2 in this one you come.
Next cookbook, no curries. Flavor's good.
Yeah?
And the veggies that are in it. Tastes a bit like paneer. Or sag.
Yeah. The lime's really good.
I like the carrot too. Something that we don't usually put in.
Curry. Anything can go in a curry, really. Potatoes are lovely in a curry. But definitely a different kind of curry than we've made before. And I really, really like it. I would make this again, faux show. You don't like it at all?
Not really. I want something else.
You want something else? Make it yourself! Let me just interrupt for a second to tell you about the awesome sponsor we have for this video.
Let's see what we got.
It's the Hauswirt Intelligent Stand Mixer. It's a new stand mixer. It's the baking appliances expert. Let me know in the comments below what you think I should bake in an upcoming video with this bad boy. Bad boy? I think I was trying to stop myself from saying bad boy, because I don't know its gender. Ooh. This is already fancier than any stand mixer I've ever owned. Dough hook? I might not have to knead my sourdough anymore. Oh, is this a cover to go over top so things don't fly everywhere? And it has suction cups, so it really sticks to your counter. Oh my goodness, I'm already in love. Brilliant. Wooly! Come here for a second. So,
I got fingerprints on it.
Oh. I've already messed it up.
Don't wipe it!
It's like sticky.
Okay.
What did you have on your fingers?
What do you mean, it's just life. Life is sticky.
Life is on your fingers.
Jeepers. Okay.
Dirty.
Okay, so it's got like tradition. So it only has it's a one hook kind of mechanism.
A one hook wonder.
Okay, so it's got a dough hook. It's got this thing that's like scrapes on the side. It's like a flat beater.
It scrapes and
So we don't have to do that thing anymore.
No. And
Exciting.
let me just but this isn't. I haven't even gotten to the best part yet. So this is like the main whisk.
What? Look at that thing.
Okay, it hooks up. It hooks up like around here. Goes on like that. It has a splash guard.
Wow.
Right? Come on!
What?
That is the thing that is missing
And
from...
it has suction cups.
Yeah,
It's
so
like
it
the
doesn't
lemon.
rotate all around.
Play.
It's touchscreen. It's all touchscreen.
Oh.
There's no knobs or anything.
There's
You
a
just-
knob. There's a knob here.
Yeah, there's a knobs. Anyway, I gotta figure that part out.
Oh, it's so easy to do it now.
Look at that. Don't put your hand in there, though. Don't. It says no hand.
Yeah, there's a big no hand symbol.
Oh.
It also has this light that shines inside your bowl so you can see what you're cooking. I like that thing. As you're gonna see from me using it in this video, there's a lot to love here. Not only is it super quiet compared to any other stand mixer I've used in the past, but it's also super easy to use with this touchscreen function on top. Let's see what happens. I'm so in love with this thing. I'm gonna make meringues. I said earlier to make the meringues, we're basically going to make a whipped cream from Aquafaba. So it's already coming along. It's not quite there yet. I just wanted to scrape down the sides. The recipe says 10 to 15 to 18 minutes. It's looking real good though. Willie's sneaking a taste already. I'm not even got my camera set up.
Oh yeah. That's good.
Good stuff? All right.
It made a mean aquafaba.
It made me, so
Is
here's,
that our aquafaba?
that's our aquafaba.
Wow.
That's our, so, let me
Is
just,
it brown and crusty like Austin?
it was the brown and crusty gross stuff, but it just puts up
Crazy
nice.
how it turns white.
Don't mind the camera. So, the recipe says that you know the aquafaba whip is done when you can flip the bowl upside down and nothing happens.
Oh god, please don't. Floor is not clean. I'm gonna touch it. Oh my god.
It didn't fall. See? Woo, woo, woo. I'm not going to test it too much, but it's also just stiff peaks. You can see that little peak inside. You know it's done. And also this guy.
Did you wash that thing before you
I did wash it before I used it. Plop this onto baking sheets and we're going to bake it for 2 hours at 250 degrees Fahrenheit. And then we're going to let it sit for another 45 minutes in the oven after we turn it off. All right, let's check the meringues. Oh, shit. They fell flat.
fail.
You know, they're gonna be more like sponge toffee now. There's no photo in this book of what this recipe is supposed to look like. So maybe they are supposed to melt and fall apart. Like what you're supposed to do is break them up, mix them inside the cream, and then sprinkle them on top. Like when I think of meringue, I think of something a bit more poofy. I mean, there's still gonna be something. Look at it. It's coming off. It's coming off the peeling.
Maybe you put them too long.
I followed the instructions.
Let's go to the beach.
Eve, come try this.
Smell like cinnamon.
Come try this. No?
It's burnt.
But it's like burnt marshmallowy.
No, just have burnt marshmallows.
Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna call this recipe
A fail.
a fail for the first time. I don't think we're gonna continue on with what this is gonna be for the dessert.
Smell like allspice.
Yep. What are you making?
Play-Doh.
Allspice Play-Doh?
Yeah.
All right. I'm just saying we're not gonna finish the recipe. I'm not even calling this a fail because this is delicious. Let me know if you've cooked from this cookbook and if they're supposed to stay puffed. I swear I have made meringues in the past,
Yeah. They didn't turn it out yet.
but we can't stop eating it. So it's just not going to be the recipe I think it was supposed to be. So the beautiful thing is, even if this recipe didn't work out, the new mixer, that's a winner, eh, Willie? I like it. I'm going to use it again later on in this video, so stay tuned for that. And also, let me tell you right now about the discount code you can get if you want to get this yourself. Hauswirt is offering you a discount code down below of 10% off if you use the code PBWithJ. So check out the description down below for that link and to get one of your very own. Okay, so confession time. This is the meal I was gonna make tonight, and then this is the meal I am gonna make tonight. Because it just looks too complicated for tonight, and it takes 2 hours. I'm not going to do it. Also, I'm making something similar like this weekend because it's Canadian Thanksgiving this weekend. I'm going to actually videotape what I'm making. I call it Annie's Loaf. It's the only lentil loaf that my daughter likes. So that'll be in an upcoming video I'm putting together for our holiday family favorites. So stay tuned for that. And this just looked a little bit too similar and it's complicated as heck. So I'm pivoting. What I love about this book is that it's all about using up stuff in your fridge. The chapters are designed that way with different types of foods. So I already started cooking the lentils for this dish and didn't want to waste them. So I looked up another dish that could use lentils, and it was this one pot pantry pasta. I've seen recipes like this before, and because we use gluten-free, I'm always terrified that it's just not gonna work and the pasta is gonna get runny or gloopy. But I'm gonna give it a shot and see. The other thing I'm gonna do is add a few more vegetables to this. I have lots of mushrooms from that dish I was gonna make, as well as carrots. So I'm gonna grate up the carrots and add it into the pot, which they'll just cook down and they'll help with the bolognese-ish of the dish. And the mushrooms I'm gonna cook on the side because Annie doesn't always love them, and people can add them in if they would like to. Pretty simple. You start off by frying the garlic, and then you add the lentils, olives, and the tomato puree, and then the seasonings, and then you add the tomatoes and the spinach. Get that going, and then you add the pasta and the water. This recipe confuses the hell out of me because I don't know how it doesn't say anything about breaking the pasta. I don't know how you're supposed to put the pasta in before the water's boiling.
I need a video. Does he have a video?
No, he doesn't have a video. I'm making the video. All right, buddy. And I'm double the recipe, but I didn't want to double the water. I think this is going to be a cluster mess of a disaster. Let's find out. I think it's going to be soup. I think I'm making soup right now. Welcome to Jeremy's Disaster in the Kitchen. Today, we're making one pot pasta. That's gonna be one pot pizza.
Look at this one pot pasta. You don't even have to drain it. Look at this stuff. But doesn't this look good? Like I can't stop stirring it. I just want to eat it all.
Ugh. There's no flavor.
Really?
It's bland.
It's really bad.
It's really bland.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's really bad. I'm just really
There's
hungry.
no flavor other than the occasional salt-y taste.
Yeah, I see what they mean. And the pasta's gluten-free.
What are the yeah, I think gluten-free pasta.
There's no
Why not
herbs.
one
The
pot?
only spice they added was chili pepper flakes.
Yeah, it needs some like Italian seasonings. Oregano, for example.
And I know this is
It's my
because we
favorite.
used a gluten-free pasta, but it doesn't quite work. He does say on the book you can use a gluten-free pasta.
I wonder if he's ever tried it.
Oh, the gluten-free pasta? I thought you meant this meal.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper to this. It's just, yeah, the kids aren't wrong. It's bland, as Aoife would say. Bland! I don't know, it's not that hard to make pasta in a separate pot and then make a really good tasting sauce and then put them together after. It's not that hard to do separately.
Well, you also had to cook the sauce ingredients anyway. The pasta could have been cooking at the same time.
Yeah.
It actually might have been shorter to do them separate.
Yeah. I don't know how this saves time. It maybe saves a dish, but a pasta pot dish is the easiest dish to clean up. Fail. So tonight for dinner, I'm gonna make this curried pumpkin and chickpeas. I haven't done a ton of cooking with pumpkin. It says I need a 2-pound pumpkin. Is that 2 pounds before you take the seeds out or after? I look forward to gutting this and pulling the seeds out and dehydrating them and then never eating them like we do every single year. Was that you? Yeah, I'm sure. we're in similar boats. What we're gonna do is cut this into wedges. It says to drizzle it with oil, but I'm just gonna use Aquafaba to just coat it gently instead of an oil. And I think that'll do a very similar thing without adding all that extra fat and calories. Same with the chickpeas. I'm gonna use the Aquafaba, which is chickpea juice. So I'm gonna cook them in their own juices. And then the seasonings. So it's interesting, the yogurt is just meant to be like a fancy thing that you spread across the plate, so do that. The only thing this is kind of missing is a vegetable to go with it. I mean, I realize pumpkin's a vegetable, but I'm gonna see what I got. I have some broccoli in the fridge. Otherwise, I might just cook some frozen peas and throw that on the side, just for something green. Yeah. This recipe calls for half a cup of crispy onions. I don't know what that is. Is that a thing you buy? I couldn't find it. Do you make it? There's no indication to make crispy onions here, so this recipe will be missing the crispy onions. Also, it sounds like a deep fried thing that I don't want to eat anyway. I will do the shredded coconut, the toasted. I'll just toast that in the frying pan, and it'll be delicious. It feels like it's gonna need a sauce on top. I'm not sure. Serve with lime wedges. There you go. A little bit of lime on top. Yeah. Feels like I'll need something like that. Let's see what we think of this. So instead of crispy onions on top, I used some kale chips that I made. And you can see me making these in another video.
I really like this white sauce. Very limey.
And there was no picture, so I just kind of made a guess at how to plate it. I tried to make it pretty. How's it all together, Annie? Did you get some of the pumpkin?
That sauce is weird. I mean, it's fine. It's not like the pumpkin's fine.
It smells really dry.
Yeah, you need the sauce. You need the
Yeah, but even with the sauce.
Yeah, I thought so too. I didn't know the sauce would be enough. Maybe I should have poured it on top.
Yeah.
But it said to put a smear on the plate.
Like, what type of food is this? Is this like...
Curry?
I don't know.
Or is it just like, oh, these are my 3 favorite foods, so let's just put them all together?
No, his shtick is not wasting food, so it's using the foods that people throw out the most often.
So you guys kind of like it, but don't love it?
It's just really dry. These chickpeas are bad.
The chickpeas are my favorite.
Even just said they were bad. Okay, my turn. I know what you guys mean. If you have that sauce with it all,
The sauce is so good.
yeah, you need enough. Is there more? You need enough of that to spread around it. So I would say, do this. Don't plate it the way I did. Plate it with like the chickpeas in the bottom, and then some peas if you want. And then I would cut up the pumpkin. I'd make a bowl out of this, and just make this a sauce. If that's how this is served, I think this would be a killer dish.
So dry.
It's just so dry.
Holy
But the flavors are really, really great. If I didn't,
dry.
but that's just, it needs more sauce. I would make more sauce.
I love it.
I think there's a great dish in here. It's just,
Chickpeas are good.
yeah. It's just, but even dry, it needs more sauce. But the flavors here are
dry.
great. So, even is the dish dry? Anything is dry?
Look at
No,
this.
it's so good. Do
No
it.
moisture.
I'll take it.
I like that they're fighting over it.
Have it.
I'm gonna make this no waste cereal milk ice cream. Apologies if you hear screaming and sports in the background. My son's watching the Jays game. I'm making this for tomorrow night. This, I think, if anything in this cookbook is gonna win over the family, it's gonna be this one. I'm really excited for it. So you toast some cornflakes and you make this milk mixture. And then you soak the toasted cornflakes with that for a bit. You let them infuse. I know it said to use a strainer for this, but I have a milk bag, and I think this will do a better job to get all the milk out of the cornflakes and keep them intact. Milky Wilky, apparently.
Oh my god. Oh. Oh. Ew, you're milking it?
Yeah.
This is what it left.
It said to use a strainer.
That's not going to be very much ice cream.
Yeah, I get the strainer. So just use the strainer. Don't do this. This is a bad choice I made. Strainer might be in the dishwasher, so we're going back to this plan. Never mind, Annie found it. She put it away on the wrong spot. Can you hold it over? Now you got another job. 2 hands.
Oh my gosh, I'm busy, people. Oh.
It feels like there is like no ice cream here. It's gonna be the smallest dessert for everyone. I'm gonna finish making this ice cream topper. So I'm taking the milk, the cereal infused milk from last night. It says to sprinkle it with oil and sugar. I'm gonna use Aquafaba and coconut sugar, and then leave it on the pan, and then bake it, and then let it cool. And then it's almost like making a granola. I think it's little clusters, because it's just a big pile of glob right now. And let it cool. And let it cool. It says once it's golden, and it's definitely golden. I don't know if this dessert's gonna work. It looks like fried chicken.
Ew, what is that?
Maybe go on top of the ice cream. What do you think?
It's weird. It's like crispy on the end, but like soggy.
Yeah, it's because it's hard to make it thin.
Why is it like?
Because it kind of baked unevenly. This is how it's scooped out. Like, it didn't make much. It made this thin little layer. This is a recipe I was so excited about in the book.
Oh my god.
And it's kind of...
I died.
such a great idea. Jeepers.
Oh my gosh.
I don't like it. We got an air fryer going on in the background, so the sound might be a little hissy.
It sort of tastes like real ice cream.
It does?
Love it. But it's not even like good. Like,
It tastes like a real ice cream, but not good ice cream.
well, it's just like, it's not worth it for the amount that it makes. And it doesn't even taste that good either. It's just very sweet, like really sweet. The more you eat it, the less bad it gets, actually.
The more you eat it, the less bad it gets. Solid reviews by Annie. That's as positive as she gets sometimes. I don't hate it. It's got a good flavor. It barely makes anything. Like, I would say, if I was to try this again, because I like the idea, I would literally just use a cup of those cornflakes. You don't need 3 cups. I don't understand what that adds. It's soaked up so much to the liquid. Like, and we've got like all this. I'm not gonna put all this on my ice cream.
It's not even crunchy. Like,
This is supposed to be a no waste cookbook. Like, unless we eat this as snacks, which we might do.
not even crunchy though.
Well, it's hard to get it crunchy when you can't get it flat. I think it's fine. It just was a lot of effort for this.
Yeah, it's good. Tastes like frozen milk in my cereal. Which I guess is what it's supposed to taste like. Just in a solid chunk.
I have an idea.
What?
What if we didn't freeze the milk and use cornflakes?
That's just cereal. I don't know if I'll finish this. It's not bad. It's just like, it feels like an incomplete idea, which is kind of what I'm learning from this cookbook. We're at the farm, and tonight for dinner, I'm gonna make this black tofu stir fry. Black pepper, black tofu. Black pepper tofu stir fry. That's what I meant to say. So it's a stir fry. So I gotta make a sauce for the tofu, and then cook up some vegetables and cook the noodles. Nothing crazy about this. Excited, Ephraim?
No, terrible.
It doesn't look terrible at all. You have such a negative attitude about this book.
Yeah, because it sucks.
I'm gonna convince. There's gotta be something in here we love. I will not give up. That's not. Oh, I won't go on forever either. It's like Chef on the Muppet Show. All right, so because I'm not frying it like the recipe says, I'm gonna cook this in the convection oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll probably check it after like 10, 12 minutes. The only huge difference I'm gonna be doing is not frying the tofu in oil. I'm just going to bake it. And then the rest of it, you cook like a stir fry, pretty much. I have extra veggies to use up, so I'm gonna add some broccoli to this as well. I mean, it's a stir fry. Yeah, whatever vegetables you want. I'm your dearest.
Almost ready.
Moments away, and then we're gonna serve this over noodles. That's what I'm gonna do. What do you think, Suki?
I'm tucking into this wonderful stir fry. It is so good. I want you to know it is so good. The sauce is so delicious.
You should have Suki in all your videos.
It's true.
It's really good. And I like stir fry a lot. And this is a really good stir fry. It's spicy though.
Yeah.
It's very peppery.
Yeah, and I think I used less than it actually calls for.
So I would say if you're making this for younger children, reduce the pepper.
But the vegetables are just cooked perfectly. They're really fresh. They just taste like they're just being taken from the garden. Not overcooked, just perfect.
That's a compliment to me, not even the recipe.
That's right.
I'll take it. This is really good. I like the bite it has a lot. It's kind of perfect. Like, I could probably put a little bit more in, but I don't. It's right on the edge of being too much.
No, that's a lot of pepper.
It's a lot of pepper. It's good. Let's see what Annie thinks.
It's a bit spicy, but it's nice.
You like it?
Tofu is really big. It's good.
Yeah, maybe cut it smaller.
It's good.
Yeah?
It's got a nice sauce and then the pepper stuff.
Pepper's super hot though.
What do you think of the sauce, Eve?
He's giving us thoughtful.
Bland?
It's not
And
bland.
too spicy.
We gotta check your taste. He went from bland to too spicy within like a
It's
second.
bland and too spicy. It's just spicy. That's all I taste.
What's wrong, buddy?
I don't know.
You like the food?
It's okay. This book sucks.
Are you sad you forgot your video games?
This book sucks.
This book doesn't suck. It's just not as great as some of the other books we've had. So to finish this video, I'm gonna make a triple chocolate birthday cake. So if you're the kind of person that watches this video and hates it when I swap out ingredients, you might just want to skip this one, because I'm pretty much gonna remix this recipe from the ground up. Because it's not gluten-free, it's just packed with butter and tons of sugar. So, you know, honestly, I want to make it a little bit healthier, and I want to make it so my wife can eat it. But I know what you're saying. So why make this recipe at all? It's because it uses an ingredient in cake I have never used, and I'm really fascinated to try. It's aquafaba, which we already did a little bit earlier in this video, so you're gonna see me whip that up again. But it has you use aquafaba, I assume maybe instead of oil inside of the recipe, but you whip it up first and you fold it in. So in theory, it's supposed to make a really light cake, which I'm especially interested in to see how that works for gluten-free. So I need to double check all that I've got here. It requires just a little under 4 cups of flour. So I'm not sure I have that much gluten-free flour. I think I do. If I don't, I'll probably mix in a little bit of oat flour. But this just calls for straight up white flour. It calls for 2/3 a cup of brown sugar to be mixed in with the aquafaba. That'll become coconut sugar, and I'll probably just cut it down to 1/2 cup. And then it calls for another 3/4 a cup of sugar for the cake to be mixed in. So here on the screen, you're gonna see the amounts that they use. I'll try to tell you what I'm putting in here, but it's gonna be about half of all of that. For the butter in the cake, I'm gonna swap it out with applesauce. I'm a little nervous about this coming together now, because when I added the little applesauce buttery mixture with the flour and stuff, it just made these big lumps. And now I'm supposed to fold in the aquafaba mixture without it pushing down. I'm actually gonna try to put it into the bowl that has the aquafaba in it, because it's a bit bigger. But the trick is to not let the air all come out of the aquafaba. You have to keep it light, but I'm just worried this other stuff's not blended well enough. It's an experiment. But in theory, this is a great idea. So just like I thought, that mixture was weird. It felt like there just wasn't enough liquid in what they're asking me to put it in. And I know I swapped out applesauce for butter, but that would make it more liquidy. It was like, there was no hope of gently folding in that beautiful aquafaba that the stand mixer made. And let me just reiterate, that thing is like my favorite new kitchen tool. It's glorious. So much of things that I love about that machine. I don't think the case can have any of the benefit of that aquafaba whip at all. I just kept on adding liquid until it felt at least a little bit pourable. I think at best, this thing is gonna end up being like a brownie cake. I don't think I've ever had this high of expectations for a cookbook and been let down this much. But we're gonna make something out of it. It's still gonna taste good. It's got sugar in it and chocolate, so it's gonna be something. I'm thinking it's gonna turn more into a brownie. So they're cooked through. I mean, they're really cooked. These things are not light and fluffy. This is not gonna be good. These things are like bricks. They couldn't be light and fluffy if their lives depended on it. I'm just sad. I don't like wasting ingredients. How do I make this suck less?
2,000 years later.
So I thought about it, and I think there's only one thing I can do to fix these at this point, and that is to abandon the idea of a cake and instead turn them into cake pops. I know that's often used for leftover cake, but I think this dense cake will be perfect. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pretty much follow the frosting recipe they've got here. The only thing I'm gonna leave out is the confectioner's sugar because I don't think I'll need it. Evan just came home and found the cake. We're gonna make cake pops.
No.
It'll work.
No. Just dump water on it and like put it into a ball.
And then I'm gonna make cake pops. It's gonna be great.
No, it's not. It's gonna be terrible.
And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shave off like the outside of this cake so like just the crustier parts are gone. And then I'm gonna crumble this into a bowl. I'm gonna fold in the frosting and then mold that into balls. I mean, that'll work. Stick that into the freezer just to chill it for a few minutes while I melt some more chocolate to dip them in. I'm gonna turn this trash into treasure if it kills me. So we're taste testing these to make sure they're worthy of sending to somebody else. They're looking really nice.
They look great. I gotta add a little sprinkle to make it authentic.
It's pretty good, but it could be better. Don't touch these sprinkles for too long. It's not that dry, it's just more dense.
That's a huge compliment. You watched what I went through with this. All right, Willie, your turn.
I like chocolate.
That's the rest of it.
That's really good. You created a top-notch dessert out of a big mess.
It's almost like a brownie. It's kind of amazing, actually. Eve, get in here. Try this out.
Dense.
It's very dense. But you saw what it was like. You can't stop eating it.
All right.
Eve's the king of it's all right. We went out on a high in a cookbook that had many, many lows. Let's see what we thought of the whole thing. So what did we think of You Can Cook This? I'm gonna be honest, this is a bit of a tough one for me because I think this Max guy is super, super awesome and creative. Although the more we cooked from this, the more I got the sense that these are a lot of really great ideas that are kind of first draft recipes that need a little further thinking and work to them. I really love the way this book is organized, that helps you use up what you've got left in the fridge, and also the little legends at the bottom that let you know how many people it serves, the cook time, all that kind of stuff is really, really lovely, and I would steal if I was to make my own cookbook. There are some things we tried in here that we really, really adored, but equally, there's a fair amount of stuff in here that just didn't work out for us at all. So with that in mind, if you are adventurous in the kitchen and want to play around, I'd say this is a solid borrow. If you're new to eating this way and just kind of want to keep things simple and not have to like mess around and figure stuff out a little bit, maybe this is a bypass. But if you do want to buy it, use the link down below because it helps us out here on the channel. Let us know down below what you thought of this cookbook and any other observations you had while watching this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, do so now and hit that like button for more videos like this. And just a reminder, if you're interested in that stand mixer that I used in this video, check out the description down below and use discount code PBWithJ for 10% off. And YouTube wants you to watch this video next. Could be another one of these review videos, could be more of an informational video I do here on the channel. Could be something silly and fun I'm doing with my kids. I don't know. It really depends on you. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.